there was this post that almost 70,000 views. So I wouldn't say it really blew up, but like I started been going around and some people are criticizing it. So I wanted to get your opinion on it. Real Jonah Blake. So what he says is crypto gaming is not inevitable and we need to stop cope posting. There's three glaring issues. Crypto people want speculated games. VCs have been burned beyond comprehension. And three, most Web3 games are Web2 copies, but worse. Let's make better content and solutions ASAP. So, Jimbo, what do you think about this? Do you agree with any of these points, all of these points?
I actually posted on this and I was like,
Did you?
I hope people aren't mad at Jonah for hurting their bags. Because everything he's saying here, from my perspective, is true. I mean, most crypto games suck. That's true. Most VCs did get burned. Yeah. We need better content. Yes. Like, all of those things are true. I mean, there's so few good crypto games. And
Hmm.
crypto gaming is not inevitable. I think a lot of people are completely comfortable with just using Steam Marketplace. They don't understand the system behind blockchain technology. They don't understand why it's important. And honestly, I think they're so brainwashed that if they just understood Steam Marketplace, they would probably prefer that over blockchain. So I'm not saying blockchain can't happen. I still believe in blockchain gaming. It's more a thing of like, if we don't produce good games, then back in the day, electric cars, when they first started, they kind of got shoved to the side because there were just other options available. And I feel like blockchain is going down that same route just because there's so many bad games. It's going to be easier for mainstream to latch onto those than to there's nothing else to latch onto except for what, Illuvium. We have one good blockchain game. Is that good enough? I don't think so. And I don't think the hate that Jonah's getting, it's just his opinion. So I don't really understand
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I mean, my opinion is a little different from yours, but before I get into that, I want to hear what Godson's going to say about this.
Um, I don't. I could agree and disagree with some of the stuff. Like I can see that there's been a lot of games that aren't producing, but we are making progress. Like this is a small community that's growing. We do have, like, for example, some of these companies like games. I think it's with the three .gg. They basically are putting the spotlight on good games, right? So they have reward system that you can go into their website and start, social farming some of the stuff that they have in there to earn airdrop rewards, and they really spotlight some of the people that are really putting effort into their games. So Illuvium was actually one of them. They spotlighted Illuvium, and I think that's a good step forward. With the VC stuff, there's also some gimmicky stuff going on because a lot of these companies are just trying to do a cash grab.
Hmm.
And when they put out their coin, it's not a fair launch. A lot of people jump into, Bybit or a Gate IO, and the coin's already at like 10 cents or 50 cents. And then it immediately plummets because everyone's cashing out that already got in, all these VCs or whatever. I don't know. So I don't know too much about what VCs are investing in, which company. Is it Star Atlas, or what game have they lost in? Maybe you guys know more to that, but I've just had bad experiences with, the whole tokenomics of companies just trying to make a quick buck on, their community, that they're just trying to get exit liquidity off of them. So
Yeah,
bad experience
It,
on
it
that, of
goes
course.
both ways for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
yeah, and I do think a lot of these VCs, like, I mean, you'd think that they're smart people and did their research, and I'm sure they did. But just like a lot of people, like buying into the hype of the last bull market, when everything came crashing down, like most people lost money. Not very
Yeah.
many people sold the top, and especially these VCs where usually you're locked up for a certain amount of time. So I mean, who knows? Maybe if they've held this whole time and they keep going, they eventually go from being burned to making some money. I mean, back to this post, I will say I do agree with his points 1, 2, and 3, but I actually disagree with his main point here that crypto gaming is not inevitable.
Yeah.
I'm one of those believers that it is inevitable. I think blockchain technology is just the future of everything. It's just like the adoption. Like how are you not going to put something on the blockchain where it's more secure, more verifiable when it exists? Eventually there's going to be a point, in my opinion, that people are going to be like, "Oh, you have this cool new game, but it's not on the blockchain. I don't trust what you're going to do with these in-game assets, so I don't even want to be part of that game." I do think that is inevitable. But something that is holding us back right now, I think, are these 3 points. Right now, we do have a lot of speculators because it's a crypto game. I want to get to a point where games are just using the blockchain technology. It's not necessarily considered a crypto game. It's just backed by blockchain, the crypto aspect. Yep, VCs have been burned, but any of the VCs that have been buying during the bear market, I think are going to end up doing pretty well during this bull market. So I think that could change soon. And most Web 2 games are, or most Web 3 games are Web 2 copies, but worse.
Yeah.
For the most part, I do believe in that. I think the people in the, the Illuvium, ETH Lizards community, they're seeing what Illuvium is doing and they're saying like, oh, this is a AAA game. And I completely agree with that. Illuvium doesn't fit into that category of most. I do think most of these games are copies and they're not good right now. But I think that will change over time. I agree with a lot of this post, but I do think it's inevitable. And I think these points are only true until they're not true, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
Say
the idea is like, is it inevitable this cycle, next cycle, or the cycle after that? It's
Yes.
definitely possible that like all of these crypto games could just crap the bed and it just doesn't work out this cycle.
Yeah, and I don't have a time frame on that, on what I'm saying, but I just think it will happen eventually. Just like I think, owning a car is going to be on the blockchain. Owning a house is going to be on the blockchain. Voting for your president or your local officials, I think that's going to be on the blockchain. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I think eventually it will. And maybe that's 10, 15 years from now. Who knows? But I think in my lifetime, I think I will see that. So I do see it as being inevitable.
What the last comment? What was the last comment he said there? Because he actually gave the key of what we should do. He said like something about make better content. One thing that you guys, one thing I can say that from what I've seen, like I followed the company Supercell. They're the company that made Clash of Clans, but basically they've had 2 or 3 games that they've actually worked on for about a year, maybe more. They've done the beta testing on it. And because of the reaction and because of what they felt like, you know what, we actually won't publish this game. We won't go forward with making this a global launch or anything. They scrapped, and I think I saw a video where Kieran was mentioning, he was doing a talk and he said, a lot of crypto companies right now, they're putting a lot of money into their marketing. We would rather build a great product, a great product. So I'm like, yeah, that's the key right there. You guys, you just have to make a good product and people will come. So I think that's what, isn't that what Fortnite did? They just took like PUBG and like just amped it up or something, made a builder game out of it with a shooter. No one's done that before. And it was a good product, and I don't think they were a big, well-known company. I don't know about that, but I just think their product was good enough for mass adoption. And so that's what just the crypto space needs to do. We need a good product for people to, to get into.
And just on that point with Illuvium, I think it's Fight for E. He's been, I don't know if he makes the post every day now, but for a while he was just making a post of how many new wallets own Illuvials every day. And you could see that it's just like a steady increase since the testnet has been out. And I would rather see that steady increase every day than one giant spike up and everything drop down, like say, like what happened to Mavia a few months ago. There was like, they had, I think, over 1 million downloads or something like that. They had a big spike because everyone was just trying to, get onto that airdrop. But I like how Illuvium's doing it. Like the airdrop, you actually need to play. I think the fact that we're getting new people every day is because people are actually having fun with this game, and they're telling their friends, they're posting it on social media, and then other people are jumping in and being like, "Oh, this is really cool." Because the marketing hasn't really picked up yet for Illuvium. So the fact that we're still growing every day is a good sign, in my opinion.